Most of the paintings show her like this. As time passed, though, Helga became more comfortable posing for Wyeth. As time passed, though, what does though mean? Though is like but, okay? As time passed, though, Helga became more comfortable posing for Wyeth. That means, but as time passed, Helga became more comfortable posing for Wyeth. She sometimes even fell asleep in various poses while he was painting. She sometimes even fell. What does even mean? Even, you use it when you want to talk about something surprising. In various poses. What does various mean? Various means there are a lot of different things of a kind, okay? Various poses means many poses. Wyeth also painted some nudes as Helga's body itself became the landscape Wyeth was searching for. Painted some nudes. What's a nude? Nude is the picture of someone not wearing anything, okay? Wyeth was searching for. What does search mean? Search for means to look for, okay? So let's move on.
It was in 1985 that the entire Helga collection was first shown in public. It made quite a splash. I remember being amazed when I first saw the pictures. Anyway, I'm not sure what the reactions of Wyeth's and Helga's families were when the secret was revealed. However, it seemed to have had no bearing on the friendship between the two families. After all, Helga worked as a caregiver for the elderly, and she was Wyeth's caregiver until he died. Wyeth has both admirers and detractors in the art world. Despite having his detractors, he is generally regarded as one of the greatest American artists of the 20th century. One frequent criticism of his work is that it was too common in an area when abstract painting was in favor. Also, some critics have even called his works illustrations, not paintings, since the subjects were so commonplace and his colors so dull. Wyeth personally despised criticism of his works. That's one reason why the Helga paintings remained unseen until he had finished them.
Okay, what is this part about? This part is about the reaction the reaction to the Helga collection, okay? And it was like having controversies, all right? And this part also talks about the fact that Wyeth has both admirers and detractors, okay? He is regarded as one of the greatest American artists of the 20th century, and one frequent criticism of his work is that his works were too common, okay? Because in his period, the abstract painting was common, was regarded as stylish. Some people also said that the subjects were so commonplace and colors so dull. So they didn't think much of his. It was in 1985 that the entire Helga collection was first shown in public. What does that mean? Shown in public. What does public mean? Public means general people, okay? Shown in public, what means it was shown for general people to come and see, okay? It made quite a splash. Quite a splash. What does quite mean? Quite means to a little degree, okay? Quite is same as rather and fairly. quite a splash. What is splash? Splash is the sound when something hits water or falls into water. It means there was a lot of there were a lot of reaction to this. Okay, like controversies, people talking about it. A lot of people talking about it. I remember being amazed when I first saw the pictures. Anyway, I'm not sure what the reactions of Wyeth's and Helga's families were when the secret was revealed. I'm not sure what the reactions. What is a reaction? Reaction is something that is done because of something else. Okay? When the secret was revealed. What does reveal mean? Reveal means to uncover something so that it can be seen. However, it seemed to have had no bearing on the friendship between the two families. No bearing. If something has no bearing on something, that means it's not relevant to something, okay? So had no bearing on the friendship means it's irrelevant to the friendship. So that means it was not good for their friendship. After all, Helga worked as a caregiver for the elderly, and she was Wyeth's caregiver until he died. Helga worked as a caregiver. Caregiver is a person who cares for someone who is old or disabled, okay? For the elderly, what does elderly mean? Elderly is a polite word to say that someone is old. Wyeth has both admirers and detractors in the art world. Both admirer. What is admire? If you admire something, you like it and you respect it, okay? And detractor. What does detract mean? Detract means to move your interest away from something, okay? Make something look bad, or make something look like it has little value, all right? Despite having his detractors, he is generally regarded as one of the greatest American artists of the 20th century. Despite, what does that mean? Despite means although. But the usage is different. Despite having his detractors, it means although he had his detractors, okay? He is generally regarded as one of the greatest American artists. What does regard mean? Regard originally means look at something. It's from French, all right? Regard something as something means think of something as something, all right? One of the greatest American artists of the 20th century. 20th century. When is this? It's 19 something, all right? Because the first century is from year 1 to year 100. And the second century is from year 101 to 200. So 20th century is 19 something. Century means 100 years, okay? Cent means 100. Like you have 100 cents in $1, right? And 100 centimeters in 1 meter. And if you say percent, it means in 100. 20% is 20 in 100, okay? One frequent criticism of his work is that it was too common in an era when abstract painting was in favor. One frequent criticism. What is frequent? Frequent means happening often. Criticism is saying that, expressing that something is not good. Criticizing is, as I have told you, disapproving of something, or a serious examination and judgment of something, all right? It's too common, means it's very ordinary, nothing special. In an era, what's an era? Era is a period in history or a long period of time when that period of time has a feature. When abstract painting was in favor, what does abstract mean? Abstract means it concerns ideas rather than the real situation. And abstract art uses shapes or patterns rather than real things, or rather than expressing, drawing or painting real things or people. So if you look at an abstract painting or abstract art, it's harder to understand. Was in favor. What does it mean, in favor? Favor means you like it. In favor means people like it. Or also, some critics have even called his works illustrations, not paintings, since the subjects were so commonplace and his colors so dull. Some critics, what's a critic? Critic is a person who criticizes. It's also someone who gives his opinion for the value of something, such as a book or a play or a film or art or music. Have even called his works illustrations. It's the pictures or diagrams that goes inside a book. Since the subjects, what is a subject? Subject is something that is being done something. A subject of a painting is the thing that is being drawn. A subject of a scientific test means the thing that you do experiments on. Do you understand? We're so commonplace. Commonplace is the same as common, okay? It means ordinary, not having any special feature. And his colors so dull. Wyeth personally despised criticism of his works. He despised. What does that mean, despise? Despise means don't respect, okay? Think low of something, despising, all right? That's one reason why the Helga paintings remained unseen until he had finished them. That's why the Helga paintings remained unseen. What does remain mean? Remain means to keep something in a certain condition. So this means that's the reason why he didn't show the paintings until it was finished. He didn't like to receive criticism, okay? So let's look at the questions. What is the lecture mainly about? What was it about? It's about the life and paintings of Andrew Wyeth, right? Let's look at other options. If you look at B, right, Christina's World and the Helga paintings, this can be a little confusing because the professor talked much of these two things, but she also talked about the life of Andrew Wyeth and his relation with the critics and everything. So this is more correct. No. The D is more correct. But in the real TOEFL test, the options will be clearer than this. Okay. Anyhow, if you have to choose from those four, it's going to be D. Let's look at other options. The influence of Andrew Wyeth on modern painters. It's not about the influence of Andrew Wyeth on modern painters. C. Andrew Wyeth's relationship with art critics. This is not the main topic of this passage.